Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. U18's match report. Liverpool begins season with 5-1 win at Stoke City. Liverpool U18s defeated Stoke City 5-1 away from home on Saturday to begin their 2025-26 league campaign. DJ Estelle gave the Reds an early lead and was joined on the scoresheet later on in the first half by Joe Bradshaw, who curled in a beautiful free kick. A goal of the season contender from Josh Sonny Lambie was followed up by a Finn Inglethorpe finish and Stoke own goal to wrap up the points in head coach Simon Weil's first competitive match in charge. After a minute's silence in memory of Diogo Jota and Andre Silva, the visitors made a perfect start and took the lead in the 8th minute. Fullback Estelle angled a fine finish past goalkeeper Lucas Knight after being spotted free in the area by Bradshaw. It was Bradshaw's turn to net midway through the opening period. The 17-year-old bent his set piece into the net from around 25 yards out and paid tribute to Jota with the celebration. The dominant Reds had opportunities to increase their advantage before the break, though Stoke did fire a warning when Jayden Ogbeber went close. But Liverpool's lead would grow to become unassailable in stunning fashion on the hour mark, with Sonny Lambie lobbing the retreating Knight from the halfway line. Substitute Inglethorpe scored with his first touch since being introduced, redirecting an AJ Yegwa pullback towards goal. Tom McNally headed in a consolation for the Potters off a corner, as home defender Sanchez Phillips then turned Hayden Murray-Holmes' delivery into his own net to complete the scoring. Federico Chiesa described the strong emotions he felt after scoring a dramatic goal for Liverpool that he dedicated to Diogo Jota. The Reds were drawing 2-2 with AFC Bournemouth in their Premier League opener at Anfield on Friday night, when Chiesa was introduced from the bench with 81 on the clock. 7 minutes later, the Italian met a half-cleared ball inside the area with a volley into the Cop-end net that put Arne Slot's team back ahead and sent the home supporters into ecstasy. Chiesa's first goal in the Premier League for the club was followed by a Mohamed Salah strike to seal a 4-2 win, in Liverpool's first competitive home fixture since the passing of Jota and his brother, Andre Silva. It is the moment I've been waiting for. It's a great goal, Chiesa told LiverpoolFC.com post-match. It was really emotional today, and after I scored, my thoughts went to Diogo, to Andre, to his family who were here today. It was really emotional. The goal was for him. In my mind, I think that Diogo was somewhere in here helping me to score this goal. I'd like to think like that. He's always with us, he's going to be with us. It was tough today, but there was a great atmosphere. The fans were amazing throughout the game. Also, I'm really grateful for the song they're singing. Really, really emotional. The number 14 added, above all, at Anfield it seems like in the second half when you attack towards the Kop, it feels like the ball wants to go inside the net. And today, I want to think that we had also the help of Diogo and his brother up there. Liverpool looked to be heading for a much more straightforward result after Hugo Ekitike and Cody Gakpo found the target either side of the interval for a 2-0 lead. But the Cherries responded determinately and hauled themselves level thanks to a second-half brace provided by Antoine Semenyo. We showed that last year we deserved to be champions. We showed character, we showed determination, said Chiesa of the Reds' mentality to reclaim an advantage. Every game in the Premier League is not finished until the ref blows the whistle. So we have to be more concentrated above all because we had the game in hand. We could have shown a bit more concentration because I think we played a really good game and Bournemouth had these 2 chances on the counterattack. At the end we had to score 2 goals, but we need to improve before. We don't need to arrive at the end with that, we need to get 2 goals to win a game. But I think at the end of the day we showed why we were champions last year, and we have players that can come in and get us over the hurdle and get us the win. Chiesa's final words in reflecting on the evening's events were for the Liverpool supporters, who once again showed their backing for the forward. I love the club, he said. I'm playing for one of the best clubs in the world and I feel the passion of the fans. I feel the energy. Playing at Anfield is mesmerizing. It's just incredible and I'm so happy to be here. Listen to The Reaction podcast for interviews and analysis from Liverpool's 4-2 win over AFC Bournemouth in the Premier League season opener. Late strikes from Federico Chiesa and Mohamed Salah ensured the Reds' defense of the title began with a victory, after they had surrendered a 2-goal lead at Anfield. You can hear the thoughts of Chiesa and captain Virgil van Dijk. plus former players Phil Thompson and Jason McAteer, in our official post-match podcast. Liverpool began the defense of their Premier League title in dramatic fashion with 2 late goals to see off the challenge of brave Bournemouth. In the first reaction podcast of the new season, we'll hear from Virgil van Dijk and Federico Chiesa. Mark Benstead hosts the show, alongside Phil Thompson and Jason McAteer. On the other hand, Newcastle fans turn on Alexander Isak. Eddie Howe wants it resolved quickly. Newcastle fans turned on Alexander Isak after their goalless draw in their first competitive match without the striker. As Eddie Howe underlined, he wants the situation resolved. Isak remains on strike as he seeks to push through a move to Liverpool, with the Mail's Craig Hope reporting he is set for a club record fine for missing Saturday's match at Aston Villa. Liverpool have not returned with a bid since their offer in the region of £110 million was rejected at the start of the month. Seeing relations continue to sour at St. James' Park as the standoff continues. As the players walked towards the tunnel at Villa Park, Newcastle supporters chanted, "There's only one greedy B***************** D," in what was a clear message to who was once a fan favorite. Soon after, they reportedly resorted to what they once directed at Mike Ashley, chanting, "We don't care about Isak, he don't care about me. All we are about is NUFC." With all the focus on the Swede's future, Howe stressed to TNT Sports he is ready for the situation to be resolved quickly. "It's a difficult one to answer," he said. "I hope it's resolved quickly, because it's sort of news around us all the time. Rather than focusing on what we need to do on the pitch and all the things that go into a performance today, then players manage to shut that out and just perform, and we've done that consistently, so we're going to have to continue to do that. We could do without the narrative against us. But what will be will be." Howe later maintained that the door is still open for Isak to be welcomed back into the fold, but that he needs to decide what he wants to do. Isak's actions are pretty clear in that regard, though. Newcastle's next match is against Liverpool a week on Monday, and it is difficult to see the Magpies hierarchy sanctioning any sale that would allow Isak to play against them on August 25th. It's always spicy against Liverpool. There's a history with the fixture anyway. Newcastle versus Liverpool. It's been an unbelievable fixture over the years, Premier League years, Howe added on the fixture. So we look forward to it. We respect them when we know how good they are. But hopefully, on the back of today, we're ready for it. Arne Slot and Jamie Carragher disagree over Liverpool's defensive weakness. Having watched Liverpool beat Bournemouth but nearly come unstuck by their susceptibility to counterattacks, Jamie Carragher voiced his anxiety to Arne Slot over the Reds' defensive weakness. It is fair to say that while Liverpool will be pleased with their 4-2 win on opening night, there is plenty to work on for the squad, particularly when the ball is turned over. Throughout preseason, the Reds have looked open on the break, and this continued against Bournemouth, showcased particularly by Antoine Semenyo's second goal, which was analyzed by Slot and Carragher. Speaking on Sky Sports, the former centre-back asked Liverpool's coach if he was furious at Liverpool having 7 players in the Bournemouth box, while 2-1 up with 15 minutes left. Slot replied, "No, it depends on where the players of the opposition are. If they are standing over here at the halfway line, it would be stupid for us to be there with 7, but if they go with all players back in their own 18-yard box, we need to have a rest defense in order to be closer to them there as well. I think if you stop the play at the moment Mo Salah loses the ball, there is not such a big problem. I think the rest defense is in order, but then they just came with 3 or 4 out of their 18-yard box." Carragher added that he didn't like Liverpool's 2 fullbacks being so advanced at this stage of the game. Again, Slot responded, "It depends on where their players are. I see it now and I see where Semenyo is. Then you could argue if Andy Robertson should be this high. For me, Robbo should be where Semenyo, and you can argue if all our midfielders should go inside the 18-yard box now. But that's also who we were and who we are. That's also why you see such a nice game if you watch Liverpool, because we are not going to go to a low block and defend. On the counterattack leading to Semenyo's second goal, we are 2 versus 1 behind the ball, and you see players from us sprinting back as well. But give credit to Semenyo as well." Carragher was still unconvinced and went on to say, "Arne, can I just say that worries me a little bit? When you say that's the team that we are with so many bodies going forward. Am I allowed to say that? Sorry, boss. Slot was, of course, gracious in his response, replying, No, you are allowed to say this. But then you need to support a team that's going to play with 11 players in their own box. I prefer to see this, but I prefer to see even more not being counterattacked, that I agree on. But I like it that our players like to play football, and I think last season we were a joy to watch, like, for example, Paris Saint-Germain, who do similar things like this. While Slot may have seemed slightly dismissive of any proposed weakness, possibly due to wanting to protect his players in public, when they return to the training ground, the staff won't accept Liverpool being so easy to score against. There is no denying the Reds look more exposed than in the early parts of the last campaign, and Andrew Beasley's stat was telling. He wrote that Liverpool conceded 2 league goals to Opta-defined fast breaks last season. On Friday, they conceded 2 in the first match alone. We want to do better in the transitions, of course, Slot agreed. We will fine-tune even more these counterattacks, hopefully, but we will work on that definitely. But we do want to stay a team that is a joy to watch offensively. Thanks for watching. Like and comment and subscribe.